question for you all today. Who is your favorite director and why? Do not forget.
So I would be surprised if y'all didn't guess this by now. Either I haven't talked about him enough, or I have and y'all are just like, Lord, shut the hell up, we don't want to hear about it anymore. But my favorite director is Martin Scorsese. I mean, it seems pretty quite obvious, but I was really introduced to his films at quite a young age, and by a young age, I mean, when did Goodfellas come out? Late 90s, right? I was born 94, so I think I saw my first Scorsese film by the time I was at age 6, and I'm pretty sure it was Goodfellas. Or maybe it was Casino. I don't know. One of those two was his, and I saw it when I was way too young, and ever since then I've been a fan of his. Don't know what my parents are thinking. Probably my dad. But like, I've been a fan of his because I feel like the way that he does cinema, he cares about it. Not like just him talking about how he needs to protect cinema and how moving forward it's going to be an interesting roller coaster. Or his discussion on Marvel, which he can have that discussion. But like, I just think the way that he does these films is so beautiful. The way he does these storylines is so beautiful. Alright, fine, sometimes I don't agree with some of the movies he makes, but that's my own personal choice. But you can see him pour his heart and his soul and his dedication and his love for the story into it. And I think watching his movies as well, as when you watch them, you can tell that he's doing this out of his heart rather than doing it just for another paycheck. Like, great that he's getting paid at the end of the day, but this guy genuinely cares about cinema. This guy genuinely cares about his work. He picks very carefully on who to work with, and I feel like that's a good thing that makes a director. And bonus points is that I get inspired by him a lot. As a film director, I'm absolutely inspired by him. I know as someone who wants to enter into the film industry, a lot of my work that I've written is hugely influenced by Martin Scorsese, and I would absolutely love the opportunity one day to sit down and pick his brains, or even be in the same room with him, or even have the chance to work next to him, and I'll just like be the understudy who just learns from the master. Like, I just really love the way he cares for cinema. And like, I get you can say that about any other director, but he's the one director that has hugely influenced the way that I view cinema. And I think if I didn't fall in love with his work, I probably would have seen cinema as a different way. I wouldn't have seen it as the beautiful art that needs to be protected. I would have seen it as something to watch to kill time. Like, for me, like, the way that he dedicates himself to this art, it's just miraculous, and I could go on for days. But like, Scorsese is definitely my number one favorite director that I cannot do without. If his films suddenly disappeared off the face of the planet, I would chuck a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old. Just saying. And if you've sat through the terrible twos, you will know how fun those temper tantrums really are.